How you doing there? This is Foothills Trapper. I thought maybe it'd be a good time to tell you how to make a wooden stretcher. If you want to know how to make one DIY, do it yourself, right here it is. All right, so what I've done is I scaled this out every inch. And according to the natural website, coyotes, if you're going to go sell fur, they have to be, you pull down 5.5 inches. And then that's got to be 4.5 across that way. So 5.5, 11, 16, and 30. That's your main number. So I'll say it again. From the tip of the nose, so 5.5, 11, 16, 30. And at this 5.5 is supposed to measure around 4.5. All right, and that's really close. And then this one's supposed to be 6, and that's really close. 6 and 5/8, that's dead on it. And then 7, and that's dead on it. So, you know, as long as it's real close, if it's a little bit more, I don't think they'd mind as much. That's the requirements. At least it has to be this. Okay, so what I've done is I make them 6 foot long. If you buy 8-foot stuff, okay, I get 6 foot is what you cut your 8-foot stuff, all right? And what you'll have left is 2 foot, right? Where you make this 20 inches. That right there. And then what's left would be about this much. So you cut that in half, and that's your 2 spacers over here. And then you know, I route the edges. So, you know, you see what I'm saying? I route the edge. You ain't got to do all that. But anyhow, I just like, I think it makes it look good. And so I route the edges, and then I sand it real good so it's good and clean. But the reason why this is pressure treated, I know what you're thinking. Oh man, pressure treated lumber is real high now. Who can afford that? Well, you can, because it's cheaper than this spruce right here. If you buy, right here it is. If you buy it, this comes 6 foot, and it is pressure treated privacy fence is what this is, and it's actually 5.5. So it's a 1x6. Okay, so you know, it's $2.88 versus about $7 for an 8-foot piece. Now, granted, you ain't gonna have that 2 foot extra, okay, to do this. But the money you save, you can buy one more of these to build yourself whatever you need of those, and you'd still come out on the good on saving money. And the plus is this is pressure treated, so it can withstand water, salt. It can withstand a lot of elements and last a whole lot longer, which is what we're looking for. We're looking at lasting, longevity, and we're looking at cheap. That's the way we all are. So simple tools right here. You're gonna need a jigsaw. You'll need a drill with a 5/16 bit, and you'll need, you know, you don't have to do the router, but you will need some sandpaper and maybe a planer, but I really doubt it. And then, you know, of course, a table saw to rip it down. And that's just your simple tools that most everybody has at home in their garage. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1/2, which they're both the same, but I'm just going to give you 1/2 inch by inch. So you can write this down. We're going to say it slow. And like I said, don't forget, the most important thing, and the reason I'm giving you inch by inch is because these right here are already right. All right, so see, these right here, just like these, are exactly correct. You know, the only thing different is I'm gonna have to cut the ends down here a little bit, but you know, so what? I like my ends flat right there a little bit on account of it just, I don't know, it makes the nose look better, but you can shape that a little bit closer. As long as you have at 5.5 inches, 11, 16, and 30, that you've got outside to outside 4.5, which you can see that right there is very close. It's 4, 9, 16. And then you can see that that's dead on 6. And you can see that that is dead on 6 and 5/8. and that this is dead on 7, well, within 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so 1 inch increments. All right, so we're gonna go 2, just go down through your board like that. Go ahead and rip it 3.5. You got to have both your boards have got to be 3.5 because both boards equal 7 inches, and you got to have that at 30 inches. So you go down through half, half your, well, your 1x4 that you've cut, table sawed, or that you bought straight up, whatever. Like I said, I do mine a little different. I get these 1x6s, and yes, you do have this leftover up under there. You have these leftovers right here, which in reality you could use them for the end. It don't have to be as wide as the board. You know what I mean? These right here is 3.5, but you ain't got to have that. It can be that. All you got to do is put a 5/16 carriage bolt in it with a washer on both sides and a wing nut, and that way you can loosen them up. And I'll show you a finished one here in a minute, but let's get back to this and let's stay on track here. All right, so 21, 22, you just go on down through there like this, okay? And then 1 inch to out the square point to the outside will be 1.5 inches. 1 3/4 on the second one. 2 inches on the third one. Fourth will be 2 1/8. Then 2 1/4. Then 2 1/2. 2 9/16. 2 11/16. 2 13. 2 7/8. 3. 3. 3 1/4. 3 5/16. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. 3 7/16. 3 1/2. 3 1/2. 3 1/2. 3 1/2. All right. And like I said, the reason I'm giving it to you like this is so you can have an exact template. And I'm giving it to you inch by inch on account of that way what you'll have is dead on the money. Now I usually go to about 50. Oh boy, I didn't mark which one we stopped at. Stupid. Oh my God. Okay, I know it was 3.5, so that's all that matters. Let's just go till 3.5. I see, I think I went 3 and there's 3.5. So right here at your 7-inch mark, when you pull down, this is your 30-inch mark. When you pull down 30 inches, it's supposed to read 7 inches across. We're going to start right there, and it's been 3.5 for a long time, okay? So we'll just start here, and that is 3 3/8, and the one before that was, 3 3/8. So go 3 back, no, 2 back from the 7-inch, and it's 3 3/8. It don't really matter. It can be 3.5. I mean, All right, so starting at the 30-inch down and 7-inch across, we're going to go the one past it. That'll be 3 3/8. 3 3/8. Same. 3 3/8. Same. Still 3 3/8. Still. Yes, 3 3/8. Yes, still. 5/16, 3 5/16, and then 3 3/16, then 3 3/16, 3, it jumps down to 3, and then 3, 3, 2 7/8, and 2 13. And then right there, that should be about 51 inches. Okay? I'll check it to make sure. That is exactly 51 inches to that last mark. All right, so you want to lay out 51 inches. Right there at 51 inches, you just want to get your level or whatever, and you want to shoot that back out to 3.5 pretty quick. Well, real quick. So from 51 to 3.5, that's what it'll be. And then it just carries on all the way out to 6 foot. So let's recap right quick. All right. We're going to recap because I know it's hard to write all this down without pausing YouTube 100 times. So here's the end of it. Here's the stretcher as a whole. Okay. Down 5.5, I made a mark. 11, I made a mark. 16, and then 30. Everybody, you see that? 5.5, 11, 16, and 30. And at this 5.5, outside to outside is supposed to read 4.5, which is about, that's about 4 9/16. That's real close. And then this right here is supposed to read 6, and that's exactly 6. This is supposed to read 6 5/8, and that does read 6 5/8. And this is supposed to read 7, and that's 6 7/8. It's close enough. But anyway, I might have shaved it a little too much, but that's supposed to be 7. That's fine. It's an 1/8 off a little bit. I don't believe that's going to matter. Like I said, you don't got to wrap none of this, but I would at least sand the edges and round that edge off, kind of like this right here. See how I hit that with my sandpaper and just kind of rounded that edge so it don't cut you and don't have splinters. All right, so again, come down every inch all the way to 51 inches, okay? And like I said, you want to go from square to outside to be 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches, 1 7/8, 2 1/16, 2 1/4, 2 3/8, 2 9/16, 2 5/8, 2 3/4, 2 7/8, 2 7/8, 3 3 1/16, 3 3/16, 3 5/16, 3 3/8. Listen, right here where it's supposed to read 6 5/8, your third mark down, which would be your 11-inch mark. Is that right? Nope, that's your 16-inch mark. It's supposed to read 6 5/8. I'm just kind of giving you a reference so you'll know you're on the right track. Okay, that'd be 3 3/8. Moving on, that's the same thing. 3 3/8, same. Now we're working at 3.5. All right, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Same. 3 7/16, 3 7/16, 3 3/8, 3 3/8. Same, 3 3/8. Same. Same thing, 3 3/8. Now it drops down to 3 1/4. All right, then 3 1/8, then 3 1/16, then 3, 2 15/16, and then 2 13, and that's at your 51 inches. Then from that 51-inch mark, you square that across from here, and then from there, you come straight out. That's what that little leg is. You come straight out. Okay. Now this thing, once you do that, you get them jigsawed up, routed, whatever, then you would make something kind of like that. And what you do is I pre-drill these holes so it don't split that little piece. And I put two screws that won't come all the way through. here and here and here and here. Then you get a 5/16 carriage bolt on top of a washer. And you put it from the bottom up. If this is your top, you come from the bottom up. Then you put another washer and then a wing nut. And that way you can tighten these legs right here. So these legs, see, will fit right up in there like that. And you got your wing nuts here, and then you can spread them open and stretch the hide. Just like that right there. I mean, you know, minus it not being put together. But you see the idea, it stretches it. Now, you say, how's that going to keep the other end right there from moving? Okay, glad you asked. Get you an old belt. An old belt that ain't no good. Cut it up in little strips. You know, little 1-inch strips. And then you staple that 1-inch strip leather right here. And that's how it stays together. All right, now I'm going to get right back to you, and I'm going to show you a finished product. Show you what a finished product looks like. And I don't have those big, nice, extravagant fur sheds like some. All right, but I do with what I got to do with. Just like all the rest of us. But that's your finished product right there. That's what it looks like. Okay. I did, however, put a middle piece in here just so I can staple the tail to it, so it ain't kind of off to the right, which I don't think that matters. But anyhow, this is it. I still got to do some grinding on it, make it good and soft. These right here, it's been all stapled. His ears been stapled down. It looks real nice. See, good presentation. Got it there. Got this. You know, that's a good presentation right there of a coat, man. And got it all stapled, and you can control, you know, how that thing's going to dry. And it's going to dry just like you see right here, which is what you want. But as you can see, I do have it. That's what I was talking about. Stretching it, you know, is that you would undo these and stretch that thing as, you know, good as you can anyhow, and then just tighten them back up, and that's your homemade DIY wood stretcher. I hope you enjoyed this film, and send me a like, subscribe if you hadn't already, and we would appreciate it. All right, have a good one.